AI is coming for your job. This is not just theory anymore. 92 million jobs will be gone by 2030. This is a headline by the World Economic Forum. Now, here's what no one's talking about though. AI doesn't just kill jobs, it kills businesses and entire business models. Business models which seemed totally safe 5 years ago are no longer safe. For example, research firms, content marketing agencies, writers, all these type of business models are just gonna go away because of AI in the next 5 years. Now, while everyone's debating which businesses AI won't kill, there's a whole slew of businesses doing the exact opposite. They're currently thriving right now, even in the AI market. They're growing, they're recession resistant, and they're AI proof. Today I'm going to show you exactly why this exists, why these models are actually working, why they're AI proof, and what, in my opinion, is the #1 business model in this niche. That if you want to start a first business, you should definitely start this business to be AI proof. Let's go. Inc. magazine released a report of the top business models which are AI proof right now. The top was skilled trade. That's going to be HVAC, plumbing, and things like that. This was #1 according to Inc. magazine. Now, I do agree that these industries are generally AI proof. I mean, structurally, AI is not going to replace someone plunging your toilet, right? These industries all have a very big issue right now, which no one's really thinking about, which Inc. magazine definitely did not think about. Here's the stat. For every one person leaving the trades right now, only 0.6 enter the market for skilled trades. That means licensed trades like plumbing or HVAC installation or AC or things like that. These are all skilled trades. The supply of labor for this is shrinking every single day. As the baby boomer generation retires, people are just not replacing these jobs. So it's becoming harder and harder and harder to find labor. That does mean these industries are very insulated from AI and they can make a lot of money. The hard part though is, even if you start this model and say, hey, this is an AI proof model, how are you actually gonna find labor? This is the biggest issue for all of these trade industries right now. The next #2 business model that Inc. magazine recommended as AI proof business, which I actually think is the best model here, would be something like residential home cleaning. Let me tell you exactly why. Cleaning has been around forever, right? There's a phrase which is called the ancient rivers of wealth, which are businesses which have been around for thousands of years. Cleaning is one of them. Why? Because things get dirty all the time. It doesn't matter if you're in ancient Greece or modern day society, dirt is dirt and someone needs to clean it. At some point, maybe there'll be robots, but we're quite far away from that. And I'll talk a little bit more about my theory of that later in the video. But the cleaning industry is something that's always needed and currently AI cannot replicate at all. Now, the good part about residential cleaning is it's low-skilled, unlicensed labor. So in any state, anyone can become a cleaner, you don't need a license for it. Why this is beneficial is because as the population of people actually doing labor shrinks, like in the skilled trades like plumbing and stuff like that, that's not the case when it comes to residential cleaning and maids. In large markets, you could find people who are willing to clean, people who have cleaning experience or people who want to become cleaners, especially because these are in such high demand right now. There's a massive boom of millennials and Gen Z who are paying for convenience. That's the whole trend of this generation is people will happily pay for convenience, pay for chefs, pay for masseuses to come over, pay for home cleaning. This generation doesn't want to do stuff themselves, right? And the cool part is in this model, you could actually find labor. You know, I'm not saying it's easy, like any business model which relies on people is going to be a little bit difficult, but it's not as difficult as skilled trades. And that's why when it comes to the supply, cleaning business is exactly where it's at. Give you an example. I run a cleaning business in Los Angeles called Made This. I've had it for 13 years, does 7 figures in revenue every year, pretty much an autopilot at the moment. Guess how many cleaners we have to make 7 figures in revenue? It's about 30 to 40 cleaners. Some are part-time, some are more full-time, things like that, but that's it. The population of Los Angeles is 10 million. So to have a 7-figure business, you really only need 30 to 40 people in that entire city to get there. That's not that much. It's totally doable when you break it down that way. That's the beauty of this model, which is still a service business, is it's AI proof, meaning cleaning needs to happen all the time, whether it's commercial, whether it's residential, whether it's Airbnbs, move in, move outs, things need to get cleaned all the time. And there's also enough supply of humans to be able to do this versus there's a negative trend with a lot of skilled trades right now. Now, one question I always get is, cool, Neil, but like robots are coming, AI is coming. Elon showed this pretty sick robot that's a Tesla robot called Optimus, and it's supposed to do things like cleaning, moving things and cleaning under it and everything like that. At some point, do I think there's gonna be cleaning robots? Yes. Elon said this though, he said these robots at minimum are gonna cost $20,000 per robot. $20,000 at the best case scenario at scale. That can work for some industries. I think the first industries which are gonna get hit with these AI cleaning robots would be things like commercial or warehousing, things where you need someone to clean like 8 hours a day. Imagine a large warehouse space, you need someone to constantly clean these things and it's repetitive work, it's the same thing over and over. That's the first thing I think cleaning robots would take the spot of because it's a business. So large warehouses could probably afford it. Plus, it's the same repetitive work, so you don't really need to lift stuff and organize stuff. It just they clean, right? Those would be the first industries I think AI robots will eventually disrupt. I don't think that's for a while though. I mean, it's currently not even happening. There's those little Roombas which go around, which they always get stuck on the corners. No one even likes them. That's been around for 20 years. They haven't even figured it out. When it comes to Tesla's robots, do I think it's going to happen? Yeah, I think at some point AI is going to be smart enough to actually have mechanics in the hands, opposable thumbs, lift things. At first, it's going to hit commercial cleaning, warehouses, things like that. A 20,000 byte size for a regular residential home is a very hard pill to swallow for most people. I think the ultra wealthy might get it for the gimmick factor, but for that amount of money, you could have an individual cleaner for a very long time. Why would you get a robot? A robot might not be able to lift stuff and clean under it, things like that. So I think the residential cleaning space, which is a lot more relationship based, which is trust based, which has a lower ticket price, oftentimes, $203 a cleaning, is more insulated from this whole AI wave compared to commercial and B2B, which long term I think will get replaced first. Now, here's why I think remote cleaning is the best industry to get into for a first-time entrepreneur. Most first-time entrepreneurs don't fail because the business idea is bad. In fact, most ideas which have been around for a long time, they're proven. Cleaning's been around forever. If you don't execute it and it doesn't work, it's not because the model doesn't work, it's because something else is wrong. I think most first-time business owners don't grow and fail because they don't have the right systems into place and they're over-budgeted on certain things. I'll give you an example. A lot of times first-time business owners hear things from like Cody Sanchez, which might say, hey, go acquire a business. So a lot of these guys will take $500,000, $1 million SBA loans that are personally guaranteed for their first buy and try to buy a business. All of a sudden, their back's against the wall because they have a massive loan that they have to pay back. They bet against the house. They're doing all these things and they don't know how to run a business yet. That's the hard part about buying an expensive business. Even large businesses like large franchise businesses that require a $500,000 investment for the overhead and build, that's a lot of risk for first-time entrepreneurs who are just figuring things out. That's why I think for first-time entrepreneurs, remote cleaning is by far the best model. Here's why. Number one, it's low cost. You could do it yourself, meaning you could spin up a website on Cloud Code. You could do some basic stuff just to get going, do some basic marketing for a few $1,000s and that's it. Or you could jump into a franchise system like Made This, for example, where it's still remote. Cleaners go straight from their home to the job site. There's no vehicles, no wraps, no overhead. So overhead is a lot lower and your profit margin can be a lot higher in these cases. It's lower stakes because of that, right? You're not like betting the farm, betting your house on making this work because it doesn't cost as much. In my opinion, for first-time business owners who are just learning the ropes, this is the best position to be in. It's a stable business, which is not going to get disrupted by AI. You don't have to worry about that. It's a business which has been proven for a very long time, for thousands of years of people cleaning stuff. And also, it's low cost, low risk. Worst case, someone complains about the cleaning, you give them their money back, you lose $200. You're not losing your shirt for this. So for a first-time business owner, a proven model which is already there and hopefully has the systems like a franchise, it's a no-brainer for your first business in my opinion, because I think this has durability and it's built for the first-time entrepreneur. Now, there's something that most people don't talk about in the local service industry. It's the AI arbitrage happening right now. So we have these industries which are AI proof. We talk about the trades, we talk about cleaning, all that kind of stuff. What's happening in those industries is most players, most business owners are like 3 to 4 years behind the times, meaning most cleaning companies in Los Angeles I'm competing with, they're still doing mailers, they're doing postcards, their website's terrible, they don't know what they're doing with marketing, they don't know how to utilize global talent. And at the rate of how fast things are moving right now with AI, with technology and stuff, if you're 3 to 4 years behind the time, you are light years behind the time. So the cool part is there's a massive arbitrage opportunity if you get into these old school businesses. I'll give you an example for cleaning. If you call most people in the service industry, you call a plumber, you call a cleaner, whatever, you're gonna get voicemail or they'll call you back or the sales script's terrible. What you could do right now, which most people are doing, is very easy. Set up an AI receptionist. They don't pick up, someone else picks up, which the AI receptionist takes the calls, automatically texts them back. You could have AI bots emailing people back and forth to make it easier. You could have AI bookings. There's so many things you can do which are very easy to make with AI, which gets you way ahead of the competition. The truth is these business owners you're competing against in the local market, they don't know what they're doing, especially with technology. So if you're just current, just barely current, not even like cutting edge, but just barely current, you're gonna sweep the competition because there's this massive arbitrage right now with how fast things are moving with AI. AI isn't killing this business model, it's actually setting up the operators who actually know how to utilize it the best. That's why I think remote cleaning is by far the most AI-proof business model possible. In closing, remote cleaning and cleaning in general is a $97 billion market. It's massive, it's growing at double-digit rates, it's constantly booming. Now, in this niche, there's so many ways of playing it, but I think right now this is the best opportunity. Now, what we do at Made This franchise, which is the company I run, is a fully remote cleaning model, which is lean, which uses technology. For example, cleaners go straight from their home to the job site, and once they're actually there, they do the job. If customers call in and routes to the team around the world, we utilize AI agents to actually service this local market. And I feel very sure sleeping at night knowing that this business model is going to be here in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, because people need things cleaned all the times. This is the best business model to be in to AI proof your future. There's a lot of business models that I think are going to be tough to get into, business models which will go away. But in my opinion, this is one you could definitely hitch your wagon to because it's going to be here for the long run.